Hi, I'm George from Common Sense Millionaire, and I'm here to talk to you today about how I went from zero to over $1 million net worth. First question you probably want to ask me is, how did I get into that situation? You know what got me in that situation? It's this thing called life and wanting to live life, or as a lot of people say nowadays, living your best life ever. And for me, that involved spending more money than month. I never forget that quote, do you have more money than month? Well, I spent more money than month. Okay. And that I didn't really think about it as I was moving along in life, uh, buying things, spending money. And really, what was I had a trigger. What was the trigger that made me change my mind and take action? I think everyone can say that they have a trigger. I think one of the biggest triggers I ever had, there were two. Um, One was I was working for a company. So here I am working for $1 million companies as a financial officer. Okay. And actually running those companies very well for the people who own them or manage them. It was great. So, how the hell did I get to zero? Okay. Here's what changed my mind one day. I had a court date at workers' compensation court in one of the cities I worked in. And I went to workers' compensation court on behalf of the entity that I worked for to root out people that we thought were cheating the system. And there were thousands upon thousands of people there, and all in the same situation, being sued by their company for money that they had taken. And when I went there with the attorney and I saw one of the staff that we were taking legal action against, the area was so sad that that staff person became overwhelmed and was like, "I can't do this. I can't do this." She signed the paper, dropped the case, and moved on. So that's like, there's so many people that were desperate that they only saw their solution was to file a workers' compensation claim. Then the second it was rather funny. I think I had gotten behind on a bill, and I'm sitting in my apartment, and the doorbell rings, and so this guy actually served me uh, for a bill that I had actually forgotten about, and I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. I just did not want to live like that anymore. And at that point in time, I said, I need to make a change. Okay. It took me 10 years to make the proper change to get it together, but it took 10 hard, very good years for that to happen. Okay. So if got into that trouble, and here I am managing millions of dollars for people, how is it happening for other people as well? So I, over the years, looked at people's habits and people I knew, friends, acquaintances, and I looked at things and I was like, okay, here it is, right? The first thing is, many people are chasing a perceived lifestyle or status of glamour and are purchasing all kind of crazy things to do that. I mean, yeah, you go to Louis Vuitton bags, and now I'm getting in trouble with my wife for talking about handbags. But Louis Vuitton handbags, Gucci, those things do not provide any return. Okay, so it's like, why are we doing this? I was even part of the problem here too. I mean, getting super luxury cars and rolling in super luxury cars, and everything's fine until you have a $10,000 repair that has to be made. Also, there's a lack of education that people have for available opportunities, even in their own work environment. We have to be curious, have to know what's going on, have to know, based on whatever we're doing, can we find a way to make that work for us financially? I take some tremendous amount of continuing education classes for my job, and also on a personal level on something that I'm interested in. And yeah, it costs a little money, But I can say that all of the education I've had has had a positive return on my financial situation. Also, you don't have a coach. You have no one to coach you. And the coach that you need is somebody who has a fiduciary responsibility to you. And what that means is that person has to do whatever they're doing to your benefit. It's not to their benefit. So, in other words, it's not so that they can get a higher commission, or it's not that they can steer you to another company that they work with and they get a cut on whatever the business they get. You don't have a coach. Okay. Now, we all sit and we watch the NBA, and you just wonder, how do these guys make those shots? How do they jump like this? How can they run up and down the court and throw the ball behind their back to a guy? This is nothing that comes native, or it was like it was inherited. No, these guys spend hours and hours of time with a coach to make it work. Okay, with a coach, someone who says, no, that's the wrong way to do this. Let's make an adjustment. We make the adjustment that fits your situation and you move on. But we don't have that. And then, and to really, this is very frustrating because, again, we're looking at common sense solutions. And people ask me all the time, George, how do I solve these problems? How can I make my finances work better for myself and the family? Um, I don't have life insurance for, for something happens to me or something happens to my wife. We don't have anything to pass on to the kids. Those are sad questions. And when people ask me those questions, I tend to give three very simple common sense answers. One, spend less. Two, make more. And three, start a business. Spending less. Okay. If anyone listening here has a cable bill, they probably have a cable bill $300 or north of that. So let's just stick with $300. So if you're paying $300 a month for cable, or 12 months in the year, that comes up to $3,600 a year. Okay. Do you really need that? Do you really? $3,600 a year is a lot of money. If you have bills, that's a significant pay down on some liabilities you have, whether it be a credit card balance or any other bill that's due that, may be running a little late, or you have to spend all your money. Getting rid of the cable, simple solution right off the bat, $3,600. Okay. What else can you do? Do you have to have that luxury car? Do you have to shop at expensive luxury stores? Sometimes I know people do that because they want to feel good. And our culture has been telling us that spending money on extravagances will make you feel good. Well, we need to cut that entire um, um, presentation from business. We just need to stop that. So you spend less. How else do you spend less? I don't know why a 5-year-old needs Nikes. Sorry. Okay. Why does a 5-year-old need Nikes? Okay. I've seen little kids with, Louis Vuitton bags, real ones. I'm like, why are we doing this? Okay. Then it's like, make more. The second common sense answer is you got to make more. So I break that into two parts. Like, how can you make more on your job? Well, if you're able to invest in yourself and get other, additional skills in a specific area, then maybe you get promoted and you make more money. Okay. But part two is you have some other type of financial opportunity working, such as another business that can bring more money home to the family. Third is start a business. Now, I always tell people when starting a business, it's just not as simple as going out and, say, selling something on the corner, which that is like the basic level of how you could do business. This is an extremely complex regulatory environment surrounding business. So if you're going to start a business, you have to do it the right way, which involves some type of analysis of what you're doing, how much you think that you can bring in, also looking at the cost of starting that business up. which means that if you're trying to sell, say, coffee or something, well, there may be sales tax involved in the jurisdiction that you're in. So, how do you sign up for sales tax? What entity should you be in? If you don't understand that from the get-go, then you might end up going the wrong way or exposing yourself and your family to liability if you're not structured properly. So, yes, start a business, but sit with someone to figure out what's the best way to go and how to do it. What kind of insurance do you need? You have to think about all of these kind of things as you move forward. Now, it ain't easy. And I know that, this is common sense and it's also a little bit overwhelming, but we help people walk through that and to make sure that we help them to advance in a positive way and a way that's legal. Okay. So, in a nutshell, this is why I'm doing this, why I've created this conversation. It's so that people who were in the ditch, like I was, okay, can dig themselves out over a period of time. There's no magic to this, but it can be done. And if you have kids, this passes on valuable lessons to your children. And at the end of the day, your kids are going to be proud of you. So when you write that check for college and everyone else is getting student loans, don't you think that they're going to remember that? Don't you think so? Can you imagine you writing a check for college? You could do that. Okay? So look, here's the deal. And it's really up to you. If you're worried about paying your bills, if you're worried about your financial future, okay? If you're sitting there and you've got a car payment or other type of large payment that's late and you can't make it, then you need to change how you're rolling in your life. And you have to do it now. And that's the common sense answer for you. So, all I can tell you is that if you're ready to work hard, you're ready to be frustrated, you're ready to be trying to figure how you're going to communicate changes to your wife or your kids as a family, make sure that you want to contact us so that we can, come out and sit with you and create a solution for your specific issues. Okay? You're not alone. Okay? I was where you are. Millions of people are struggling with their financial issues daily. And our mission is to move people forward in a common sense manner to provide financial stability for themselves and their families. So thank you very much. It's been great talking to you. Looking forward to talking to you soon.